Good morning. Welcome to our 2017 Memorial Ceremony. I thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. I would ask that you stand for the posting of the colors and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Detail. Right. Pink.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. Detail. Order. On. Detail. Left. Pink. Ceremonial rest.
We'll now ask Chaplain Vince Messina to lead us in an invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, we come on this very solemn day to remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice of their lives for the safety and well-being of this community. We realize that life is a special gift from you, and each and every life is important. And Father, we just thank you for the giftedness, the talent, and the ability of these who have died in service and duty. We thank you for their courage. We thank you for their integrity. We thank you for the legacy that they have left for current officers of this department and surrounding communities. And we ask your blessing upon the families that remain. We also thank you for this beautiful day and the grace that you extend to us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. I'd now like to introduce Mayor Dane Slater. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, everyone. It's always an honor and a privilege for me to be here for this special occasion for many reasons. But the reason I'm here today is to represent the Troy City Council, the citizens of the great city of Troy, and the businesses as we recognize and thank these officers as well as the officers that gave their ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our community. And we always also recognize Stephanie Steele, who was murdered by a drunk driver and lost her life when she had so much to give. I'm here today to present a proclamation to the Troy Police Department on behalf of the city. I'd like to read that proclamation because I think it says everything that I need to say this morning. This is a proclamation recognizing Police Memorial Day 2017. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States has designated May 15th of each year to be Police Officers Memorial Day. And the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Memorial Week. And whereas our law enforcement officers are the guardians of life and property, defenders of the individual right to be free, warriors in battle against crime, and are dedicated to the preservation of life and property. And whereas our community desires to honor the valor, service, and dedication of its own police, and whereas the City of Troy will observe Police Memorial Day on Thursday, May 18th, 2017, with a dedication ceremony in front of the Troy Police Department. So now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Troy hereby proclaims, along with this be, May 18th, 2017 as Police Memorial Day and in the City of Troy, and call upon all our citizens to make every effort to express appreciation to these men and women who are willing to sacrifice their lives, if necessary, to guard us and our loved ones against all who will violate the law. So be it further resolved that we invite all citizens to reflect and remember three officers, Charles Smetana, Martin Chivas, and Charles Mulvihill, who lost their lives in the service of our community. These men will forever be remembered for their ultimate sacrifice. This is presented this 18th day of May 2017 and signed by myself and all members of Troy City Council. Once again, I want to thank all of the officers in this department for their sacrifice and what they do to make our community safe. Chief Mayor, I'd be honored to present this to you.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor indicated, it's very important that we remember those that went before us. In the Grassy area here next year, we're very hopeful that we're going to have a police memorial. The Troy Police Honor Guard has been working very diligently to make that happen, so we're very hopeful that next year when you come back for the ceremony, we'll have a memorial there remembering those that went before us. Police Officer Charles C. Smetana died on December 11th, 1969, while responding to an injury accident. He himself became involved in a crash. Officer Smetana was only 33 years old when he gave his life trying to help others in need. Police Officer Martin D. Chivas was shot and killed on April 22nd, 1974, while investigating a burglary in progress. The suspects were prison escapees in the process of a multi-state crime spree. Officer Chivas was only 23 years old when he died. Officer Charles T. Mulvihill died on September 11th, 2001. He was responding to a call for service when he suffered an apparent heart failure. Officer Mulvihill was a mentor and a friend to so many of us here during his 10 years of service with the Troy Police Department. Police Service Aide Stephanie Steele was killed by a drunk driver on July 19, 1999, while returning home from northern Michigan. Stephanie was a friend to many here at the Troy Police Department. In memory of Stephanie, her friends have donated a flowering weeping cherry tree, which is planted just east of the main police department entrance. I'm going to deviate slightly from the script here to indicate that every year, as I walk out to this ceremony, Phil Steele walks with me. He's the father of Stephanie Steele, and thanks me and the Troy Police Department for remembering the memory of his daughter. Every year, that chokes me up. We will now conduct the laying of the wreath ceremony. Please rise and remain standing throughout the ceremony. The laying of the wreath will be assisted by Mayor Slater, Mayor Pro Tem Ellen Huderick, Councilwoman Edna Abraham, Councilman Dave Henderson, and Councilman Ethan Baker.
D10, 15, good. Right, hey. Breathe in, huh.
Please be seated. I'd like to thank everyone for attending our ceremony today. I'd like to give a special thanks to the Northwestern University Police School Staff and Command number 411, which is attending school up at our training center, that they were able to take time out of their valuable training time to be here today and help us recognize those that went before us. I hope you can join us at the San Marino Club. Immediately following this, we're going to have our awards ceremony and a luncheon there. Thank you very much for attending today. Good morning. So, as I said, this is our first year doing this with food. So we want to try to make sure we're expeditious in this and getting it done, and also have those that have their food to continue eating. We'll make adjustments as we need on the fly. Good morning. I'm Gary Mayer, and I'm proud to be the chief of this great police department. It's been another interesting year in police work. Continued criticism and scrutiny of police officers has been extraordinary. But once again, I do not see that being a problem here at Troy. We've never had as many volunteers who want to help us. The cards, letters, and gifts of food are coming in even more. It's a great showing of appreciation. We all appreciate it. We had volunteers that helped us get ready this year for our Police Memorial Day. They were out front planting flowers, making sure things were clean. We had volunteers that were in packaging things up for our open house on Saturday. We couldn't do it without the volunteers. We really appreciate all they do. Today, we will be swearing in one police officer. Every sworn member of this department, regardless of rank, is a police officer first. Police officers take risk and suffer inconveniences. They protect the lives, defend the civil liberties, and secure the safety of their fellow citizens. They endure risk and tolerate such inconveniences on behalf of the community of Troy that they serve. They make a difference in the quality of life of our citizens. Being a police officer is one of the more noble and selfless occupations in our society. Few other professions offer both the risk and the rewards. This public affirmation today is a powerful demonstration of our high ethical standards. It is my responsibility to ensure that this oath is recited by new members. You will hear him swear to support the Constitution of the United States, support the Constitution of the State of Michigan, support the mission, vision, and core values of the Troy Police Department, and to faithfully discharge the duties of the position of police officer of the Troy Police Department. Stephen, could you step up here, please? So today we're going to swear in Police Officer Stephen Boozy. He was hired in March of 2015 as a police service aide. He attended the Macomb Police Academy and graduated this past Tuesday. He was selected by the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards as the top graduate of the Macomb Police Academy. He was first in physical testing, and he was chosen to deliver the class speech. And he did an excellent job on that. I should have him talking right now. He did so good. Our city clerk, Aileen Dixon, will conduct the oath of office. Aileen?
I
Stephen Boozy.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and the mission, vision, and core values of the Troy Police Department, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the position of police officer of the City of Troy to the best of my ability.
I do. Now, Stephen's father, Michael Boozy, worked for the police department for years. His badge number 16 is the same badge that will be given to Stephen. His mother, Jan, is going to pin this badge on. Jan?
Okay. Are you deaf?
Yes.
No. Okay.
It's truly a pleasure and honor to be able to stand by and watch that type of thing where either a current police officer or a past police officer is able to pass on their badge to a child or other family relative. It's very good. This award ceremony is important because it allows us to recognize the citizens and police department employees who work so hard to make Troy a great community. Could all of the active police officers please stand? So from any jurisdiction, any active police officers. Even if you just put dessert into your mouth, Chief. These men and women proudly serve and place themselves in harm's way to protect us from those who would victimize the innocent, prey on the elderly, and abuse the young. Thank you for all you do. It's also very important to recognize those that went before us. Could all those retired from the Troy Police Department please stand? Thank you. I will now introduce the moderators who are going to assist me today. Captain Robert Redmond, Lieutenant Thomas Gordon, and Lieutenant Frank Nastasi. Robert?
Good afternoon. We're going to do this a little different maybe than we've done them before. We're going to be reading off the names first of those that need to step forward to receive their awards. And then as you're walking up, I will begin reading what the award is about, and you will walk up and meet with the chief. And the two officers or lieutenants here will be delivering the plaques for the chief to hand to each recipient. I ask that you all please hold your applause until such time as they're receiving awards or I'm done talking, so we don't try to overlap everything. Okay? I promise I will try to talk so everybody can hear me, and we'll see if I can get it all right.
You gotta work on that volume.
Rarely do I have to be told to work on my volume. Okay. We begin with the Safe Driving Award, Lieutenant Russ Harden, Lieutenant Josh Jones, Sergeant Scott Lemilza, Officer Todd Gusky, and Officer Pete Mitten. The Safe Driving Award is given to department personnel that have experienced no all-fault crash. It's not me. Okay, I'm sorry. The Safe Driving Award is given to department personnel that have experienced no at-fault crashes for 5 consecutive years of service. Those whose names I call are asked to stand at their tables as we recognize their positive performance in this regard. Little twist there. Your certificates and ribbons will be delivered to you after the ceremony. It is actually a really difficult thing to do if you're one of the persons working the road to manage to make 5 years without damaging a police car. Beth Kokotovich. Maureen Finnegan and John Mara. Maureen Finnegan and John Mara. On September 7th, 2016, our Community Services section partnered with Tim Hortons Troy to host a coffee shop takeover, offering random acts of kindness while paying for the customer's coffee. The event was generously funded by Tim Hortons owners, Maureen Finnegan and John Mara, along with resident and businessman Mark Calise. This event promoted a positive police-community relation and provided a morale boost to our officers. To show our appreciation for the endless support extended to the Troy Police Department, we are pleased to present Maureen Finnegan and John Mara, each with a civilian commendation.
Thank you.
David Iaconelli and Teresa Payne. In December 2016, our department sponsored an event called Operation Blue Sleigh. Officers collected toys and food at Walmart for families in need. The items were then distributed to 27 different Troy families during the holiday season. The response was overwhelming from our generous community. Walmart manager David Iaconelli supported this event as well as our annual Shop with a Cop at the store. Mr. Iaconelli went above and beyond to ensure the success of both events. Our next assistant, Teresa Payne, did a great job coordinating Operation Blue Sleigh. Ms. Payne organized the event and subsequent distribution to local families. We appreciate both Ms. Payne and Mr. Iaconelli and their support of this community outreach event, and we proudly present David Iaconelli with a civilian commendation and Teresa Payne with a community service award. Leslie McMahon and Ashley McMahon. When they were sitting next to me, I should have called them first. Huh? The Professional Law Enforcement Association is a local organization that provides benefits to members of law enforcement. The executive director, Leslie McMahon, participated in our Citizens Police Academy in the fall of 2015. This Troy-based company purchased a bulletproof vest for one of our canines, Eli. The vest is custom made and designed to allow Eli to perform his regular duties while wearing it. Eli is trained in both drug detection and tracking and has been involved in the apprehension of numerous suspects throughout his career. To express our gratitude for this generous donation, we are pleased to present the Professional Law Enforcement Association with a certificate of appreciation. Kelly McNair, Jackie Christoph, Christina Kelly, and Catherine Shepard from MBS Commercial Interiors. We purchased many of our canine supplies from Uncle Luke's feed store here in Troy. MBS Commercial Interiors donated $4,000 to our canine unit, and the funds were placed into an account at Uncle Luke's. A donation of this type is extremely useful for the day-to-day needs of our canine dogs. As an expression of our gratitude for this generous donation, we are pleased to present MBS Commercial Interiors with a certificate of appreciation. This is Alliance Mobile Health, Vince Juarez, Christopher Berry, Justin Hooks, and Julie Williams. Each year in December, our department conducts a food and gift drive to support local families in need. Also, we embarked upon a new challenge with our Project Blue Sleigh. These successful endeavors assisted more than 50 families during the holiday season. We were very fortunate to have had the partnership and support of Alliance Mobile Health for these worthwhile projects. This organization's professionalism and commitment to the community were invaluable factors. Alliance helped with publicity and offered hours of hands-on assistance for both events. To express our appreciation for the ongoing support received from Alliance Mobile Health, we are pleased to present civilian commendations to Vince Juarez, Christopher Berry, Justin Hooks, and Julie Williams. and I have to read this guy's name again, Officer Stephen Busey. In July of 2016, it was a busy afternoon in our communications sections. They received a call for a retail fraud in progress at Somerset and notified area departments of the suspect vehicle as well as suspects on foot. A short time later, a call out for the South Oakland County Crash Investigation Team was made. As is often the case, the quantity of day-to-day routine calls that day was elevated. Throughout all of this activity, Communications Supervisor Sean Flint reports that our dispatch center continued to operate like a well-oiled machine. In recognition of their duty or dedication to duty, we are pleased to present some that haven't appeared, but also Officer Stephen Busey with the Department Commendation. Communications Supervisor Sam Califf. Also in July of 16, our communications section had a very similar situation where our supervisors and police service aides again worked in concert to bring about a successful result. We had received a false 911 call to send officers towards Oakland Mall when the actual smash and grab of high-end watches was occurring at Somerset Collection. That 911 call was a report of shots being fired at Oakland Mall. Unrelated emergency and non-emergency calls continued to be handled, while details about the Somerset incident were passed along to officers without delay. In recognition of their dedication to ensure officer safety, we are pleased to present Communications Supervisor Sam Califf with a departmental commendation.
Sam, come on back. Representing the Troy Police Communications Section, Communications Supervisor Sam Califf. In March of this year, a strong windstorm entered our area, wreaking havoc for nearly 12 hours. Our communications section was inundated with telephone calls, processing over 700 calls in a 12-hour period. That's nearly 4 times the normal amount. These 700 phone calls translated to more than 120 calls for service. Due to the teamwork and perseverance displayed by the individuals on duty that night, we're pleased to present them with the Department Commendation, with Communications Supervisor Sam Califf representing. Lieutenant Josh Jones, Officer Dan Backlita, Detective Chrissy Schuler, Officer Greg Stopczynski. Troy had been experiencing tire and wheel thefts at our car dealerships. Our Directed Patrol Unit conducted proactive patrol in the area of Elder Ford. Officers witnessed 4 suspects enter the lot, with 1 individual remaining in their vehicle as a lookout. When they began to load tires and wheels into the vehicle, our midnight shift officers moved in. 4 suspects fled on foot but were all apprehended. Items recovered included 13 sets of tires and wheels and 2 stolen vehicles. Detective Schuler was able to secure a total of 71 felony counts for the 5 suspects. To recognize our coordinated efforts and outstanding performance, we are pleased to present Lieutenant Joshua Jones, Officer Dan Backlita, Detective Chrissy Schuler, Officer Greg Stopczynski with the departmental commendation. Sergeant Russ Bragg and Officer Greg Stopczynski. In July of 2015, Officer Stopczynski conducted a traffic stop while assigned to a seatbelt enforcement detail. He detected an odor of marijuana and obtained consent to search the vehicle. He located over 8 ounces of marijuana, packaging materials, a ledger, nearly $6,000 in cash, and checks totaling $130,000. The driver was arrested for possession with intent to distribute marijuana. The vehicle, cash, and checks were seized, and the forfeiture process was initiated. Interviews were conducted, and additional evidence was obtained to substantiate the defendant's attempts at concealing currency through the use of corporate checks. 3 months later, over $66,000 was deposited into our state drug forfeiture account. The proactive traffic enforcement by Officer Stopczynski, investigative follow-up by Detective, now Sergeant Bragg, resulted in the largest known found on patrol drug forfeiture by Troy PD. To recognize their outstanding performance, we are pleased to present them with a departmental commendation. Must stay up with this.
Is that a proper about this?
Along with Sergeant Russ Bragg, I need Officers Craig Fitzpatrick and Dan Langbein up, please. These officers are going to be recognized for their work in the form of some outside agency awards they've received over the last year. Working with multi-jurisdictional agencies and task forces, our officers are often awarded for their dedication to duty. We acknowledge their hard work in the awards presented by other agencies. Sergeant Russ Bragg. Sergeant Bragg was a member of the Elder Crimes Task Force. For 7 months in 2016, this task force investigated over 110 reported crimes against senior citizens. Due to the combined efforts, 49 arrest warrants were obtained for criminal activity in 9 Michigan counties and 4 other states. Sergeant Bragg was awarded a unit commendation. Officer Craig Fitzpatrick. Officer Fitzpatrick was part of a team working through the Narcotic Enforcement Team and Oakland County Gang and Violent Crimes Task Force that investigated and infiltrated a heroin ring. This task force utilized undercover buys, confidential informants, and surveillance, which led to the execution of numerous search warrants, indictment of 8 suspects, the seizure of a large amount of heroin and cocaine, and the procurement of 17 weapons. Officer Fitzpatrick was awarded a Professional Excellence Citation. Officer Dan Langbein. Officer Langbein is assigned to the Oakland County Narcotics Enforcement Team. Over the past year, his team has excelled in narcotics investigation and was successful in disrupting and dismantling numerous major drug trafficking operations. They have seized thousands of grams of cocaine and heroin, as well as large quantities of cash. Officer Langbein was awarded a citation for his efforts. Thank you. Alliance personnel Aaron First and Tracy Hyatt. In April of 2016, Alliance Mobile Health and Troy PD officers responded to a call for service. It was for a 46-year-old female resident who was not breathing. Troy Police personnel, together with Alliance personnel, Aaron First, Tracy Hyatt, performed CPR. A pulse was regained and the patient was transported to Troy Beaumont Hospital and taken immediately into surgery. We are happy to report that the 46-year-old patient made a complete recovery due to the highly skilled and coordinated efforts displayed by these individuals. In recognition for their outstanding efforts, we are proud to present civilian citations to Aaron First and Tracy Hyatt. Thank you. Aaron, stay up here. Along with Sergeant Frank Schuler and Officer Greg Stopczynski. And then Aaron First, come on back. This is also for a life-saving award. Officer Stopczynski was dispatched for a resident who had collapsed. He quickly assessed the patient, found that she was not breathing and had no pulse, and began CPR. Alliance Mobile Health personnel arrived and assisted with the life-saving measures. Sergeant Frank Schuler also arrived and assumed the role of family liaison to attempt to bring calm to the situation. After approximately 20 minutes of CPR and several AED shocks, the victim started breathing, regained a pulse, and was transported to Beaumont Hospital. The highly skilled and coordinated efforts ensured that the patient made a full recovery, and we are proud to present Officer Greg Stopczynski with a life-saving award, Sergeant Frank Schuler with a departmental commendation, and civilian citations to Aaron First. Officers John Julian and Brian Rosecco. In the spring of 2016, the police chiefs from Troy, Royal Oak, and Shelby Township decided to take a proactive and progressive approach to educating employees in being fair and bias-free. A training program entitled Fair and Impartial Policing was selected. This program is described as a cornerstone of procedural justice and is important for the achievement of agency legitimacy within our communities. 8 employees were sent to train the trainer workshops, 3 of them from Troy PD. Working together, they presented this program to over 300 police employees during a 5-month period. To recognize the dedication shown to the fair and impartial policing program, we are pleased to present Officers Julian and Warzeka with a Merit Service Award. Sergeant Scott Lemilza, Birmingham Officer Josh Houston, Royal Oak Officer Andrew Isidoric, Bloomfield Township Officer Tim Newsom. Over a period of time in late 2015 and early 2016, Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne counties experienced a rash of B&Es where suspects would break out the front window of a business, hook a chain around an ATM, and pull the machine out of the store. Several suspects were developed and SIU initiated surveillance. In January of 2016, SIU witnessed 2 individuals steal a Dodge Dakota truck and followed them to Livonia. The suspects backed the stolen truck up to the front door of the business, broke out the window, and hooked a chain to the ATM. SIU boxed in the vehicle and took both suspects into custody. This arrest cleared approximately 15 to 20 felony cases in Metro Detroit, including car thefts, burglaries, and ATM thefts. In recognition of the coordinated effort and diligence displayed by our Special Investigations Unit, we proudly present Sergeant Lemilza, Officer Houston, Isidoric, and Newsom with Department Unit Commendations.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. At this time, I'd like to call up from our Special Investigations Unit, Sergeant Scott Lemilza, Officer Michael Giordano, Birmingham Officer Josh Houston, Royal Oak Officer Andrew Isidoric, Bloomfield Township Officer Timothy Newsom, and our Evidence Tech Officer Joseph Mouch. Last year, Troy experienced numerous purse thefts and an armed robbery at Oakland Mall. In one incident, the victim held onto her purse and the suspect pointed a gun at her. After Evidence Tech Joseph Mouch identified and lifted a fingerprint from one of the victim's vehicles, a suspect was developed and our SIU and Directed Patrol Unit initiated surveillance. In September, SIU and DPU witnessed the suspect steal a car, drive to a residence in Warren, and gain entry into the home by breaking a window. The 2 suspects were then taken into custody. Detectives Diaski and Whiteside coordinated and organized this case. They interviewed suspects and obtained a full confession, and charges were brought against this person for armed robbery, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and 3 counts of larceny from a person. With pride, we present our SIU with departmental unit citations and Officer Joseph Mouch with the Merit Service Award. Next, I'd like to call up from our criminal investigations, Lieutenant Russ Harden, Sergeants Robert Wolf, Officer Todd Gusky, Officer Dave Isham, Officer Lisa Rockefeller, and Officer Chrissy Schuler, and from our MCAT team, Bloomfield Township Chief Scott McCann, Bloomfield Hills Lieutenant Noel Clayson, and Clawson Lieutenant Scott Cervello. Also, Oakland County Sheriff Sergeant David C., Rochester Officer Jeff Furman, Bloomfield Township Officer John Husidos, and from our Evidence Tech Unit, Officer Joseph Mouch, Jason Therrett, and Officer Brenna Yukari. Also, Chaplain Vincent Messina and Assistant Prosecutor Attorney Jason Pernick. Probably not too many people left on this side. On March 21st, 2016, Troy experienced a brutal murder of a 37-year-old wife and mother of 2 at the Somerset Park Apartments. We initiated a call-out with MCAT, which is our major case assistance team. Troy investigators, along with MCAT team, worked tirelessly to identify a suspect. The members of our Evidence Tech unit worked diligently. This included photography, video recordings, of the crime scene, as well as identifying, collecting, processing, and documenting and packaging valuable evidence. One day later, a suspect was developed. Our SIU team and Directed Patrol Unit determined his likely location and started surveillance. And they ended up arresting the suspect without incident. The joint effort between our investigators, MCAT, SIU, and DPU resulted in the successful arrest of a dangerous felon within 30 hours of the crime. Detective Chrissy Schuler was the officer in charge of the case. It was her priority that compassion be extended to the victim's family while also keeping them informed of new developments. As the case moved to the prosecution phase, Detective Schuler was responsible for managing the witnesses, marshaling the evidence, and assisting the prosecutor, who was Jason Pernick, whose expertise was invaluable in this case. He not only prepared a seamless case for the jury trial, but also made certain that our criminal justice system was explained fully to the victim's family. A member of our chaplain program, Pastor Vincent Messina, was a valuable resource providing necessary comfort and reassurance to the victim's family. The jury returned a guilty verdict against the suspect after only 55 minutes of deliberation. The suspect is currently serving a sentence of life without parole. APA Jason Pernick also was instrumental in obtaining criminal charges against a co-defendant who is also serving a lengthy prison sentence. Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up our Honor Guard, which consists of Lieutenant Russell Harden, Lieutenant Josh Jones, Sergeant Russell Bragg, Sergeant Andrew Satterfield, Sergeant Frank Schuler, Officers Dan Baclita, Jason Clark, Patrick Flood, John Julian, Peter Mitten, Rachel Pink, Mike Villaro, and Brenna Yunkari. The Troy Police Honor Guard was formed to offer official remembrance to law enforcement professionals who have passed in the line of duty. The Honor Guard is highly trained in the aspects of drill and ceremony, flag presentations, and funeral details. Sadly, in 2016, the Honor Guard performed funeral details for 5 Michigan police officers that were killed in the line of duty. The members of the Troy Police Honor Guard also founded a 501c3 charity to give financial support to the families of law enforcement professionals in the state of Michigan who have passed in the line of duty. We applaud the hard work and exemplary efforts of our Honor Guard and present each of them with a unit citation. Next, I'd like to call up, you can see up here, Jason Clark. Officer Jason Clark has been assigned to our training section since 2014. Jason consistently exhibits a commitment and personal drive to meet the goals of our department. Here are just some of the highlights of Jason's accomplishments. He's a project manager for our firing range upgrades, manages all department ammunition, and determines future needs, maintains all oak tack, shooter equipment, and tracks use by other agencies, manages emergency response kits for current officers and new hires, develops and implements all 10-hour semi-annual training, including rifle training, handgun training, scenarios, pursuit policy, stop stick training, and high-risk felony. He also organizes annual handgun qualifications for retirees, assists with our Citizens Police Academy, maintains his instructor certification in pepper ball, armor, and shoot house, manages all training records with the state of Michigan, and develops complete ballistic vest inventories and manages a replacement of all those. And he's a member, of course, of our Honor Guard and acts as a bugler. Did a fine job today. As you can tell, he does quite a bit of work for us. So we applaud his day-to-day hard work and efforts of Officer Jason Clark and present him with a departmental citation. Thank you, Jason. Next, I'd like to call up Chrissy Schuler. Chrissy Schuler is one of our detectives, and she was the officer in charge of a missing person case that resulted in a first-degree murder charge. In April of 2016, A Troy resident reported that her daughter was missing and last known to be with a friend in Hazel Park. Detective Schuler interviewed the victim's friend and sensed that he was not being truthful. Prior to a scheduled polygraph test, the victim's friend contacted Detective Schuler and confessed to the crime. The victim's family expressed their gratitude for the compassion, professionalism, and determination exhibited by Chrissy Schuler. We're proud of her hard work and diligence and present her with a departmental citation. Next, I'd like to call up Officer Todd Gusky. Todd, please shut up your phone. Todd Gusky is currently assigned to our criminal investigation section. Officer Gusky is an outstanding investigator and is viewed as an expert in the area of fraud. He is well respected by federal and state prosecutors, law enforcement agencies, and private companies also. He's a member of the Southeast Michigan Financial Crimes Task Force. During 2016, Detective Gusky worked on multiple high-profile and complex identity theft cases, which resulted in the defendant being charged both criminally, federally, and also by through our Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. Many of the search warrants resulted in a cache of firearms and fraud plant materials, which included credit cards, credit card embossers, credit card readers and devices, skimmers, card stock material, and re-encoders. You feel free to talk to Todd after he's down there. He can explain any one of those items. He also maintains an outstanding professional relationship with many of his contacts. He is willing to assist other detectives and share his financial crimes expertise, and also he's eager to accept challenges and take on these complex fraud investigations, and they're very, very complex. We recognize his diligence and hard work, and we present him with the departmental citation. Thank you, Todd.
Seemed like a good idea when we were planning this out to move it over to this side. It's a little closer than what we'd like. I'm now going to read the Chief's Award. First up will be Lisa Rockefeller. Lisa. Officer Lisa Rockefeller was hired in April 1999. Throughout her career with Troy PD, Lisa has been assigned to road patrol, investigations, and community services. When Officer Rockefeller was transferred to community services in 2016, some of her responsibilities were Shop with a Cop, the Food and Gift Drive, and a new endeavor, Operation Blue Sleigh. Lisa contacted Troy schools to identify families in need and then coordinated the screening process. Due to her efforts, we were able to include more than 50 families in our charitable efforts, a significant increase from previous years. All combined, more than $60,000 in cash, food, and gifts were received and distributed as part of our holiday charity initiative. These results are due to the commitment and determination exhibited by Officer Rockefeller. In recognition of her high level of dedication to duty, I am pleased to present Officer Lisa Rockefeller with the Chief's Award for Outstanding Accomplishment. Thank you. We'll turn around and get our picture. Thanks. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it. Sergeant Megan Lehman. Sergeant Megan Lehman was hired in May of 2004 and was promoted to sergeant in 2012. In 2015, she assumed her present duties in the Community Services section and the role of Public Information Officer. Working as PIO, we rely on Sergeant Lehman to disseminate important information to the press and our community. Megan has done an excellent job updating the department's social media resources and developing new methods to communicate the Troy PD mission. Sergeant Lehman supervises the Community Services section and coordinated numerous worthwhile projects, including our holiday charity endeavors. Many Troy residents benefited from these activities. Megan has been instrumental in coordinating events with religious and community groups to foster and strengthen relationships between them and our department. We have received excellent reviews for the town hall meetings and community groups
from our community groups to help address questions or concerns they have about our criminal justice system. To acknowledge a job well done, I am pleased to present Sergeant Megan Lehman with the Chief's Award for Outstanding Accomplishment. I'm sorry, Bob.
You skipped it.
Okay.
He's got it.
Officer Joseph Mouch. Officer Joseph Mouch joined Troy PD in June of 2006 and has been assigned to the Road Patrol. He has been an evidence technician since 2012. Officer Mouch's supervisors describe him as a dedicated professional and a passionate police officer and evidence technician. Along with his Road Patrol duties, Joe has accepted the responsibility of administrative ET, which includes the daily operations of the lab and garage, purchasing equipment and supplies for the unit, assisting with planning, training, and keeping up with the latest evidence processing equipment, techniques, and training that are available. During 2016, Officer Mouch handled numerous incidents, and 3 of them are particularly noteworthy. He took the lead in the March 2016 homicide evidence investigation. He recovered a bullet from a suspect's gun from November 2016 armed robbery, and he processed evidence from 2 home invasions in 2016 where DNA swabs were matches to the suspects. Throughout the year, Officer Mouch gives ETs presentations, demonstrations, and tours for the Citizens Police Academy, open house, and elementary school students. In recognition of the pride, enthusiasm, attention to detail, and skill exhibited on a daily basis, I proudly present Officer Joseph Mouch with the Chief's Award for Outstanding Accomplishment. Yep. 2 of them. Thanks. Good job. Communications Supervisor Sam Califf. Communications Supervisor Sam Califf has been chosen as the 2016 Non-Sworn Employee of the Year. Sam's supervisors report he can be relied on for his advice, experience, assistance, and ability to problem solve. He acts as our PSA hiring coordinator, where he represents Troy PD as an oral board panel member and has helped develop questions used in this oral board. Sam was recently appointed to the State 911 Committee's Dispatcher Training Subcommittee. Among applicants statewide, he was one of 4 selected to serve on this committee. This committee is responsible for the training standards for all emergency dispatchers in the state of Michigan. And this appointment also includes the management and disbursement of millions of dollars in training funds, which support initial and continuing education for telecommunicators throughout the state. Sam assures me we're going to be the most well-trained communications section in the state, now that he has his hands on the purse strings. Sam manages the emergency fire dispatch protocol, which includes working with Oakland County courts and law enforcement management information system in the development of a quality assurance program. At the request of Clemens, Sam represents Troy PD at the Public Safety Answering Points quarterly meetings. It is a great pride that I present Communications Supervisor Sam Califf with the 2016 Non-Sworn Employee of the Year Award. Officer Edwin Julian. Police Officer Edwin Julian Jr. has been selected as the Troy Police Officer of the Year for 2016. We affectionately call him John, not Edwin. He was chosen for this prestigious award as a result of his exceptional abilities, strong commitment to providing excellent police service, and personal dedication in helping others. Officer Julian was hired by the Troy Police Department in February of 2000. Throughout his career with Troy PD, John has been assigned to Road Patrol, Directed Patrol, Community Services, where he currently serves
as our school resource officer. John is also a member of the Honor Guard and the Tactical Support Team. Serves on the boards of the Troy Police and Fire Benevolent Association and the Troy Youth Assistance. He's one busy guy. While Officer Julian's primary role is the school resource officer, he also contributes significantly to other community projects. In September last year, he organized an outreach effort at Tim Hortons where officers served coffee and donuts, no donut jokes, to patrons at no cost to them. This event was funded by a donation and earned Troy PD much positive media attention. In our schools, Officer Julian has made himself a well-known and well-liked resource to school administrators, students, and parents. John is willing to take on the fun demeanor necessary to relate to students of all ages. He has been very effective in addressing serious situations such as stranger dangers, bullying, assaults, and other criminal matters that arise in our schools. Officer Julian routinely displays a professional attitude and excellent policing skills. He epitomizes the desired traits outlined in the core values of the Troy Police Department. He routinely volunteers for difficult duties, acts as a mentor to younger officers, and exhibits strong leadership skills. He has demonstrated dedication and integrity that has earned him the respect of his peers and the countless members of the community he serves on a daily basis. This selection recognizes Officer John Julian's day-to-day performance and professionalism. The Troy Police Department is proud to acknowledge all of these achievements in selecting Officer Edwin Julian as the 2016 Police Officer of the Year.
Good afternoon. It always sounds so much more impressive when the chief talks about it like that. The only person that praised me publicly like that, other than him, is my mom. But if she was up here, she'd also add that I was the spelling bee champion in the 5th grade. I am very humbled and grateful to be accepting this award. Really just go out and do what I do every day, do what's asked of me, and enjoy what I do. I'd just like to take a moment to express my gratitude. Thank you all for being here and for supporting police officers, not just today, but every day. It really means a lot to all of us. I'd like to thank the city and the police department for fostering a culture and environment where you want to go out and do good work. I'd like to thank the Troy School District for being a partner and a true ally in the betterment of Troy. I'd like to thank my fellow police officers for giving me a great team to be a part of, especially my community services section, fellow officers and supervisors, for always embracing what I hope to do every day. I'd like to thank my family that is here and has always been there for me, especially my mom and dad who set the example for strong work ethic. And I'd like to say happy birthday to my dad, 68th birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to him. To my beautiful wife and daughter, thank you for giving me a reason to strive to do the best that I can every day. And putting up with my often hectic schedule. And as any spouse or family member of a police officer can relate to, it can be very difficult at times. Again, thank you so much for bestowing me this honor, and thank you for your support. Thank you.
Sergeant Scott LaMilza. Sergeant Scott LaMilza has been selected as our 2016 Command Officer of the Year. Scott joined Troy PD in August of 2004 and was promoted to Sergeant in February of 2012. In his current position, Sergeant LaMilza leads our Special Investigations Unit and has distinguished himself as a manager and leader. He has proven his ability to lead a multi-jurisdictional unit while building a cohesive and effective team. His ability to assess situations and make timely decisions has led to the location and safe arrest of several dangerous criminals. In addition to supervising SIU, he oversees the efforts of the task force officers assigned to the FBI, DEA, Narcotics Enforcement Team, and our own Criminal Intelligence Unit. During 2016, SIU made 89 arrests. Many of them involved very serious crimes. They carried out 15 search warrants, conducted 76 surveillances, and cleared approximately 260 cases. Sergeant LaMilza is well respected by his subordinates, peers, and superiors. He can always be relied upon to complete even the most difficult of tasks. He has proven that he can handle and control extremely complex scenes and effectively utilize all available resources. The selection of Sergeant LaMilza for this award acknowledges his performance and professionalism. He is truly a credit to the Troy Police Department, and I proudly present Sergeant Scott LaMilza with the award for 2016 Command Officer of the Year. It appears that John Julian set the bar too high. Although Scott did indicate there was going to be a dance contest between him and John afterwards. If you've had the opportunity to see John's YouTube presentations on dancing with the kids at the school, it's quite a thing to see. I want to thank Jessica Morse, Terry Calusi, Pat Gladys, Teresa Hope, Stacy Lebeski, Teresa Payne, our new interns Hannah London and Justin Harwood for all the work that goes into this. You can imagine the amount of work that goes into this event. It wouldn't be possible without them and all their efforts. Thanks, ladies. So I have two last comments. It's our privilege to recognize all the citizens that have helped us at Troy PD. Thank you for helping us recognize all our employees who work so hard to make Troy a safe community. We really appreciate it. This year we're going to do something different, and at the end of this service, which is going to end momentarily, we're going to give out years of service coins. So if you have at least 5 years service and you're an active member of the Troy Police Department, we would like you to step over to where Captain Redmond is, and we're going to distribute these coins. It's the first year we're doing this, and we're going to make it a regular event. Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate your time. Thanks.